Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mariama, and today we are going to be making keto apple pie. So instead of the apples, of course, because we can't have them on keto, I'm using Chayote. It's what is it? It's a squash, Chayote squash for the apples instead of apples. But you still put the cinnamon, and instead of sugar, you use sugar substitute that you can have like Swerve. I use monk fruit sweetener in mine. So let's get started. So at first we're going to make the crust. And for the crust we are going to use 3/4 cup almond flour and 3/4 cup coconut flour. So I'm going to go ahead and add it in. This is coconut flour. 3/4 cup right in the bowl. Then we're going to add 3/4 cup almond flour. Add that right in the bowl. So then we're going to add our baking powder. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And I put all of this down low in the description box. Then next we are going to add 1 tablespoon of water. Then we are going to add 1.5 teaspoons of xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is going to give you the doughy like texture. It's going to make it stick together more. Without this, I've tried it. It's just cardboard like sitting on top of your pie. Not cool. So 1.5 teaspoons of xanthan gum. Add that in there. Then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of sweetener. I used monk fruit sweetener like I said. Add that in there. Then we're going to use 1/2 a teaspoon of salt. I use pink Himalayan salt because that's all I have. I don't use any other salt besides pink Himalayan salt. Then we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. Then next, we are going to add 1 cup of melted cooled butter. Your butter has to be cooled. Without it being cooled, you're going to cook your eggs, which is what we're adding next. Next, you're going to add 4 large eggs, room temperature. If your butter is not cooled, your eggs will fry. Simple as that. So you're going to add that in there. And of course, I forgot my spoon. So, you're going to take your spoon, going to mix it all up. And if you need to add more coconut flour, more almond flour, coconut flour is better because it does absorb some of the moisture. You can do that too. I just use 1/2 and 1/2, and sometimes I'll add a little more just because with the almond flour it does turn into a doughier texture than it would with the coconut flour. So we're gonna mix all that up, mix, mix, mix. That's my oven, which is preheated to 375 degrees. So mix this up, and I will show you guys in a second what it's going to look like. 1 second. I'm actually going to go in and add a little bit more coconut flour because I want it to be a little more bonded than what it is right now. You're going to want it to be bonded together because when you go to flip your dough into the pie crust, it's going to be hell on wheels. Trust me, I know, if you do not bond this together. So I'm just gonna do like a tablespoon or 2 of organic coconut flour. I got that coconut flour at Ollie's, to be honest. It was $1.99 for the bag. That's the cheapest I've ever found coconut flour. So I got it. Mix it, mix it. All right. So after all of that is mixed in, I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like. It's gonna look just like this. It's like a dough consistency. So you are able to pie it. You're able to put it together like you need to be. So when that is done, I am going to put my coconut flour away. And I'm going to grab my pie dish. And I got a glass pie dish from Walmart for $9. It's not expensive. They last longer, easier to clean, all that. You don't have to grease it. So I'm going to take half of my pie crust, and just plop it in there. Plop, plop, plop. And we're gonna spread it out. You can use your hand, you can use a spoon, you can do whatever you want. I find it easier to at first use a spoon so it is evenly pressed out. And I like my crust to be a little thicker, so you can press it up to the sides if you want the bottom thinner. You can make the crust your own. In this crust, this is my third time making a pie, and I've used pie crust just with coconut flour, and I've used it just with almond flour. So this being my first time using it with both, I like it a lot better, because with the coconut flour alone, it just feels a little cardboardy. And then with the almond flour, it's not as bonded, so you really have to piecemeal all of your dough together, especially for the top layer, which is annoying. From personal experience, it's annoying as hell. So push, 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 spread it out. I'll show you in just 1 second what mine is going to look like. It doesn't need to be fancy or whatever, it's just dough. So I have my bottom layer. Looks just like this. Looks like the bottom of a pie. So before we put our filling in, I'm actually gonna bake this for 7 minutes on 375 degrees, no longer than 7 minutes, because it will brown. It then will cook more when you put it in the oven, and you want your bottom layer to be burnt. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. Give me 1 second. Alright, that is in the oven for 7 minutes. I'll be right back. Welcome back. So I just took the pie crust out of the oven. I have y'all lower so you can see what I'm doing in this general area with the pie crust. So I actually ended up keeping the pie crust in for 9 minutes instead of 7. Sometimes it cooks in 7, sometimes it takes a little longer. So now we're gonna put our pie filling in. So like I said before, I did Chayote Squash cut up with lemon juice, cinnamon, monk fruit, cream of tartar. I added vanilla flavoring in there. And yeah, the little white specks you see is coconut flour to help with the moisture, absorb some moisture. But this is what it looks like. It looks like little apple chunks, but it's squash. So now I'm going to, with all that mixed up, I'm going to put it in the pie crust. like so. And you need about 4 to 5 Chayote Squashes. It makes a lot. They have a lot of moisture. Just beware of that, like a lot. That's another reason why I wanted to cook my pie filling. My pie crust for a little longer than usual because I needed to be able to absorb some of this, but not make it too soggy. Then press that down and just spread it out evenly amongst the pie pan. So do that. And they look like little apple chunks. I don't know, that's so cute and so cool. I just hope it tastes like apple, which it won't, but you know, it's cool. So me personally, I love cinnamon, I love sugar. So I'm going to add a little more cinnamon on top of mine. You don't have to do this, that's just what I prefer. Helps a lot in its flavor. So then I'm going to add some Truvia packets on top of mine as well. I do not have the Truvia container. I prefer packets because it helps with portion control. Because sometimes I have no portion control. So I added about 6 Truvia packets on top. This is my 6th on top. Just to help that sweetness. There you go. So now, I'm gonna get my butter. And I use the Kerrygold brand. That's all we ever buy. Tastes just like butter, but it's grass-fed. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely worth it, especially on keto if you're trying to get your fats in. So we're gonna put some butter on top. My butter is a little melted because it's hot as the dickens in this apartment, but I refuse to turn on the AC because then a couple days from now I have to turn it off, and that's just wasting money, and I don't believe in doing that. So I'm gonna put some butter around. It says 2 tablespoons, thinly sliced. I just take some butter chunks and call it a day because we've got time to thinly slice some butter. It's the same thing. It's all gonna taste good. It'll all melt the sugar the same. Right. 2 more little scoops, one right there and one over here. So that's pretty much it for the topping. So now we are going to do our top layer of crust. So like I said before, we did the bottom layer with the first half. Now the top we are going to do with the other half that I've already rolled out thinly with a wine bottle because I'm ghetto and I use a wine bottle because I refuse to get a rolling pin. So I use a wine bottle, it does the same thing. So I did it between 2 pieces of parchment paper. We're gonna take the first piece off, put it in the trash. Now, don't touch a hot plate like I just tried to. We are going to flip the pie crust on the pie. And you have to do it quick. If you don't do it quick, it's gonna be a mess. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Some of it might come off. If it does, it's okay. You're gonna make a little crust on top anyways, because that's cute. Take this off. There we go. Alright, crust is off. You're gonna have some extra left. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with that. So you're gonna take the extra pie crust and you're going to make your little crust. I'm probably going to speed this portion up because it does take a hot little minute to do, but it's cute. It is aesthetically pleasing, as we love to say. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this right quick. Pie crust everywhere. This rag is clean, so don't judge me. It is clean. You know, just some of it just stayed, so we're just gonna flip it over and make a little crust, which pie crust is literally my favorite thing of all time. So for me to have pie crust is very essential when I have my pies. I don't eat pie without crust. Just saying, I just don't. So we're gonna keep going around. This is the long part. Everything else takes literally no time. But this is the long part. Then you're gonna flip it, and just press into the pie to fold it over. If you need to add a little bit of dough, do that. You're gonna have excess dough. Sorry for the background noise. People decide they want to ride motorcycles this late at night, and it's fucking annoying. Excuse my language, but it's fucking annoying. But I'm not closing the door because it's hot as hell in here. So keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So I do have some pie crust left over. That's fine. You can eat it. It's totally edible. Or if you want to save it for another pie, like I'm surely will, because I'm probably making another pie this week. Because I've been on this pie kick lately. Just do that. So now that you have a pie crust, which I really don't care if my pie crust looks cute or not, because it's gonna get eaten just like the rest of the pie. And my boyfriend doesn't tend to give a crap either. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna grab a fork right quick. One second. Get your fork and just go around the edge of your pie. And be gentle. Don't be like me and just fuck up your pie. You may need to clean off your fork, which is fine. Just go around the edges. Some of it annoying. There you go. And make sure your pie is actually on the pan and not hanging off, because then it's gonna fall and burn in your oven. And if your apartment is like mine, your smoke detector has very sensitive emotions and goes off for anything and everything. Add some of that right there, because for some reason it disappeared. So now we are going to cut vents into our pie to make sure it is able to ventilate, if that's what you want to say, properly. across in the middle. It's not the prettiest thing I've made ever, but it's definitely gonna work. So I will show you guys what it looks like. Yours may look better than mine, which is fine. It all eats the same. So that's what it looks like. So now I'm going to put it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. I'm going to put it on 37 and just watch it and make sure the top browns properly. So I'm going to put it in the oven. She's in there for 37 minutes and I'll be back when she's done. It might be tomorrow when I come back because it's late and she has to cool, but we'll see. All right, y'all, welcome back. The pie's out, she's sizzling. See if you can hear it. She's sizzling. So we actually have to wait until she cools down to cut her, which sucks. Sorry for my appearance. I took a shower, got ready for bed. So I will insert pictures here of what she looks like cut and what she tastes like, because she smells good. She smells just like apple pie. No complaints. Like, look at her. Look at her. She's so cute. I can't believe I made her. Look. She smells so good. I can't wait. Well, that was my keto apple pie, quote unquote, pie mix. Well, pie recipe. I will leave everything in the description box below. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.